Hi, everybody. Thanks for. Oh wait, now it's on. Okay, there we go. What a great way to start.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. We just wanted to try our first live stream here. We're Ash. I'm Ash, and this is Blag on the other side of
Hello.
the screen here. And we're from the developer relations team at Nylas. So today we just wanted to walk through a quick sort of like example of some fun code that was inspired by somebody else's tweet, actually.
hmm
We saw someone on Twitter who was building out something that would basically, if I'm remembering correctly, it would take that person's calendar
hmm
contents for the day and then dump it into something like a text file on their computer, something like
Yes.
that. And that way they would have like a basic sort of rundown of what was on their schedule for the day every day, just like waiting for them, for example, on the desktop or whatever. And we
hmm
thought, okay, this is an interesting idea. Seems like something we could do with Nihilus. And
Yeah.
we talked about it a little bit in Slack, and then the next thing I knew, Blag had built a really cool example using Nihilus and integrating it with a script that dumps text into the Obsidian Markdown editor
hmm
using some cool shell scripting features that I didn't even know Obsidian had. So anyways, we just thought we'd take this opportunity to kind of jump in and do a quick run through of that just for funsies and see how this live stream thing works. So Blag, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So I'm gonna share my screen. Let me see. It's gonna look weird, but now you should be seeing my Genie editor. So this is a Python script that I created. So first we need to, of course, load our M variables. So here is gonna be everything that we need to connect to the Nylas API. So we're just gonna grab that. We're gonna load the environment. And then we're gonna import some dependencies like datetime, of course, the Nylas package. And here we're gonna call the Nylas API. We're gonna pass our client ID, our client secret, the access token. So we're gonna be able to connect to the Nylas API. Then we need to grab the day of today, which is April 6th. And then here under file name, we want to grab the address of Obsidian, where our document is going to be generated. So we're going to call it just the day of today, like April 6th.md, which stands for Markdown.
And
So
probably just to interrupt right there, like just to make it clear, because we're going to see this in just a second. But for folks who haven't seen Obsidian before, you can kind of think of it as sort of just like how would we describe it exactly? It's like a place to write markdown files and structure
Mhm.
them into sort of like a wiki style.
Yes, exactly. They call it like the second brain, like where you
Yes.
can kind of link documents together.
Cool. And so we'll actually get a chance to see what this looks like in a second. But for now,
Mhm.
that file, that line 21 right there, is basically pointing, Blag, if I understand correctly, to where all of your Obsidian Markdown documents are stored on
Uh-huh,
your local machine.
exactly. So here we have an after and before. So the after is going to be because we want everything that happens today since the start of the day until before the end stops. So from 12 at noon until 11:59 p.m. So like covering the whole day. Here, what we're going to say is we want to get our calendar. We have specified here the calendar ID, and we want the calendar to start after it's the day starts and ends before the end of the day. So we grab the whole day. Then we want to open our file name, which is this one here. I'm sorry. And then we're gonna write the name of the file, which is gonna be pretty much April 6, 2022. We want to write events because we want to know which events are gonna happen during the day. So simply, as we grab the events, we wanna loop them. We're gonna get the start and end date for each event. So from that, we just need the event when, start time, event when, end time, and that's coming from Nylas. We're just transforming it into something that we can read. Here we want to write down the start date, end time, and the title of the event. If we don't have any events, we just want to write no events today with a emoji with some sunglasses. And then that would be it. It's just going to say your calendar has been created, and we're going to close the file so we cannot write into it. So if we go to the terminal inside our environment, because we created an environment for Python, we're just going to say Python 3, the name of the file, which is calendar.txt.py, and we execute it. And it's going to say your calendar has been created, so we can head into Obsidian. Here's my Obsidian, here's my calendar folder, and here are the files that has been generated through the days. So you can see that April 6th is not here yet, but that's simply because here on the settings, if I go to community plugin, shell commands, which is something that I download as a community plugin, here I have source code that is going to say, go and activate my environment and run my script. So every time I open Obsidian, the script's going to run, and you're going to see that it's going to generate a new calendar. So I quit Obsidian, I open it again, it's going to run the script, and here we have the calendar for today. We have the events, the start time, the end time, and the title of the event.
That's super cool. So, and if we were to kind of just step back, we started off really from that developer's perspective, right? If you wrote the script, you tried it out in the terminal, and then you hooked it into Obsidian. So, on the other side of things, though, if you had already written a script like this, so let's say from every day from now on, you have this script written. So what that means for you is actually the user now of your own script means that you won't need the terminal, and you won't need a text editor or like a code editor every day to to make sure that you have all of this in Obsidian, because you've done the setup. And now every
Yeah,
time you open Obsidian, it's pulling the latest version of your calendar. Is that right?
exactly. Yeah, every time I close it and reopen it, it's going to execute the script, and it's going to grab all the events happening through the day, and it's going to replace the file.
So that's super cool, right? I guess that means that, yeah, over time, let's say like all of our calendars change all of the time, right? And so like if you had opened Obsidian, say at 9 in the morning, by the time you get to 2 p.m., chances are something in your calendar has changed. And
Exactly.
so the script as it's written right now will when you open Obsidian next time, it's going to overwrite that file.
Yeah, exactly. It's just as easy as just close Obsidian, open it again, boom, the file is recreated.
That's super cool. So if we just think through, like, if someone wanted to put something together like this and kind of extrapolate from there, right? For example, like they might, they could imagine, you could imagine an example where like, instead of having to close Obsidian and open it, you could create an affordance to just let you refresh or have it sort of occasionally refresh. There's all sorts of really cool things that you could do with this. But we can leave that as an exercise for the reader for today. For now, if we think through some of the like system dependencies that you had for the script, what are people going to need in order to set something like this up?
So pretty much it would be just like having the Nylas package for Python, then of course starting Obsidian, and then downloading that shell command that I show, and I actually can load it here. Actually, it's a community created package for Obsidian, and it's here. Just in a second. Here it is. Let me share my screen again real quick. But it's pretty simple to set up. So here it is. It's called Obsidian Shell Commands. and it's pretty easy to just install. So basically what you need to do is you need to go back to Obsidian. Here, click on settings, then go into community plugins, and then here you can browse. And once you install it, you just need to check here that it's going to be installed. Once it's installed, you just go here into shell commands, and you can put how many commands that you need to use. So here, it's just basically, because I'm using a Python environment, it's just doing a source to activate it, and then to run the command. And that's it.
Yeah, that's really cool. So it's basically what you end up with is inside of this like second brain, as you call it, of Obsidian. There's a trigger on when the application loads now, because you've installed that community plugin, and you can use the shell commands to then run your script, which in turn uses the Nylas Python SDK to connect with your Google Calendar, grab all of that information, and then display it nicely for you right there in your Markdown file.
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing else to it. I mean, just with the Nylas API and the command for the plugin for Obsidian, you can have that. Open up Obsidian and you have all your calendar there as Markdown.
Cool. Well, I love it. Thanks for sharing this today. This one's a lot of fun, and it's really fun to just imagine all the different things you could do with it from here. But a nice little utility, Nylas, and an everyday tool like Obsidian. So if folks were wanting to get started with Nylas and connecting it to your Google Calendar to try interesting things like this, you can head over to developer.nylas.com. And from there, you sign up, get a free trial, and get all of your credentials that Blag described before. And I think we can follow these tweets up, Blag, with links to a repo at some point. I'd love to get this up as a sample. So I don't think we have it up yet, but I'm sure we can do that pretty quickly. So Blag, thanks for sharing today. Nice first stream.
Yep, but great being here. Bye everyone, take care.
Bye.